Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into one of the biggest buzzwords in aesthetics right now, exosome therapy. It's a really fascinating idea that basically uses your body's own secret language to help rejuvenate your skin. So here's the big question. What if your own body held the key to reversing the signs of aging? I know, it might sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but the answer actually lies in something incredibly small and unbelievably powerful. Okay, so let's get right into it. To understand this therapy, you first have to meet the stars of the show, exosomes. And the best way to think of them is like tiny, highly efficient little delivery drones flying around inside your body. So what exactly is an exosome? Well, picture a microscopic little bubble, or vesicle if you want to be scientific, that buds off from a stem cell. Its entire job, its whole purpose, is to be a messenger. It carries this little package of vital instructions from one cell to another to tell it, hey, it's time to get to work repairing and rejuvenating. And if they're delivery drones, what's in the package they're carrying? Well, inside every single exosome is this potent cocktail of proteins, growth factors, and these things called microRNAs. Think of microRNAs as the little project managers that fine-tune a cell's activity. This whole payload is basically the biological to-do list that tells our cells exactly what they need to do. Now, you might be hearing about exosome therapy everywhere and think it's brand new, but the science has actually been building for decades. I mean, scientists first figured out these things were cellular communicators way back in the 80s. Then, in the 2000s, their huge regenerative potential was discovered. And by the 2010s, the aesthetics world had really caught on. Okay, so we've got these tiny messengers with their instruction packets. How does all of that actually become a therapy? Well, it works by quite literally learning to speak the language of our cells to encourage them to act younger. It's pretty amazing. So the exosome's whole mission is a clear three-step process. First up is delivery, where they're applied right to the area we want to treat. Second is communication, where they link up with your cells and drop off that instructional cargo. And third, the best part, is regeneration. That's when your cells get the message loud and clear and start ramping up the production of all that good stuff, like collagen and elastin. And this is where the transformation really happens. On the left, you've got a sluggish fibroblast cell. That's the guy responsible for making collagen, but maybe it's gotten a little lazy. After exosome therapy, it becomes this activated powerhouse. It's boosting collagen, it's speeding up tissue repair. It's basically like it got the world's best motivational speech at a cellular level. So all that activity at the cellular level, what does that actually mean for you? Well, it translates into results you can actually see and feel. We're talking about smoother, more rejuvenated-looking skin, a reduction in fine lines and wrinkles, better hydration, and it can even support hair follicles when it's used on the scalp. These are the real-world results of all that tiny messenger's hard work. Okay, so the science is really cool, but what does this actually look like for someone who's getting the treatment? Let's walk through the entire journey. The very first step, and this is so important, is a detailed consultation. A trained professional is going to assess your skin, really talk through your goals, and then determine if you're actually a good candidate for this kind of advanced treatment. A critical part of that consultation is screening for what are called contraindications, which is just a fancy way of saying reasons the treatment might not be safe for you. This therapy isn't for everyone, and your safety is always paramount. So anyone with these conditions just wouldn't be a candidate. Now, to get the absolute best results, what you do before and after the treatment is key. The pre-care is all about creating a perfect clean slate, and the post-care, that's all about protecting your skin and giving those newly activated cells the best possible environment to do their amazing work. And you might be wondering, how much of this powerful stuff do they even use? Well, for a typical full-face session, the total volume is just around 2 to 5 milliliters. It's a perfect example of how a very small amount of something can make a huge impact. Okay, let's get down to the bottom line. What kind of results can you actually expect, and what are the potential risks involved? It's all about managing expectations. This is so important to understand. The results are progressive. You'll likely see a nice, mild glow and feel more hydrated right away. But the real magic, that happens over the next few weeks and after multiple sessions as your cells are rebuilding and regenerating from the inside out. It is absolutely a process, not an instant fix. And of course, with any procedure, there are potential side effects. The most common things are mild and temporary. You know, a little redness or swelling. But the rare, more serious risks, well, that is precisely why you have to go see a licensed, trained professional for this. And this really brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. Your safety and your results are directly tied to the expertise of your provider. This is not a DIY treatment. This isn't a simple spa facial. It's a medical aesthetic procedure, and it absolutely demands professional skill. So when you step back, exosome therapy is a huge leap forward in our ability to harness the body's own regenerative systems. And it leaves us with this one final really exciting question. As we get better and better at speaking the language of our cells, what other possibilities for our health and for aging are we going to unlock next? It really makes you think. Thanks for tuning in.